Scene: the aftermath of the Saharan abyss setting, the Protector's Arctic base, now buzzing with activity as they analyze the Saharan fragment. The mood is tense. Alina and her team are shaken by Dr. Carter's betrayal and the Syndicate's persistence. The GOC's involvement has left them questioning who they can trust. Characters present: Alina Reyes, Kraken Prime, the Sirens, members of the Protectors of the Deep. The scene: the base's main control room is filled with holographic displays showing data from the Saharan fragment. Alina stares at the glowing shard in its containment chamber, her expression troubled. Kraken Prime and the Sirens enter, their presence grounding yet somber. Kraken Prime: the fragment's energy is stabilizing, but its resonance with the other shards is growing stronger. The Echolith's call is becoming more urgent. Alina, nodding: I felt it down there. It's like it's trying to piece itself together. But the cost is too high. We almost lost everything in that aquifer. The Sirens step forward, their voices soft but insistent. The Sirens: the Echolith seeks balance, Alina. But its fragments are scattered, and its power is unstable. The closer it comes to reuniting, the greater the danger. Alina, sighing: I know. But what choice do we have? If we don't recover the fragments, someone else will, someone like Rourke, or the GOC. Kraken Prime's massive tentacle brushes her shoulder, a rare gesture of reassurance. Kraken Prime: you are not alone in this, Alina. The Protectors stand with you, as do we. But the path ahead will test us all. Alina looks at the Sirens, her voice tinged with desperation. Alina, is there any way to bring Zimmers back? Could he guide us through this? The Sirens exchange a glance, their expressions inscrutable. The Sirens: the Echolith carries his essence, but his return is not guaranteed. The fragments must unite, and the ocean's balance must be restored. Only then will his fate be known. The GOC's fallout: the GOC cuts ties with the Protectors, labeling them as renegades and threatening to seize their resources. Alina and her team are forced to operate in the shadows, relying on their allies and ingenuity to continue their mission. This isolation strengthens their bond but also increases the pressure on Alina as their leader. Captain Rourke's next move: Captain Rourke survives the flooding and emerges more determined than ever. He begins assembling a team of rogue scientists and mercenaries, determined to harness the Echolith's power for his own gain. His obsession with the fragments grows, fueled by visions of ultimate control. Future challenges the Sirens' prophecy. The Sirens reveal a cryptic prophecy about the Echolith's fragments and Zimmers' possible return. Alina must decipher its meaning to guide the Protector's mission. The Abyssal Alliance. Alina forms an uneasy alliance with an underwater civilization known as the Abyssal Collective, who possess knowledge of the fragments, but demand a dangerous price for their help. The final fragment. The last fragment lies in the Atlantis depths, a legendary underwater city protected by ancient guardians and a deadly rival faction. Zimmers' return. As the fragments come together, Zimmers' essence begins to manifest, but his return could come at a catastrophic cost. Key themes: leadership under pressure. Alina's struggles highlight the challenges of leading in the face of uncertainty and betrayal. The price of unity. The Echolith's reunification raises questions about the cost of power and the dangers of playing God. Legacy and redemption. Zimmers' possible return ties into themes of legacy, sacrifice, and the enduring impact of one's actions. Storyline. The Sirens' prophecy setting, a hidden grotto deep in the Pacific Ocean, where the Sirens reside. The grotto is a breathtaking underwater sanctuary filled with bioluminescent plants, ancient stone carvings, and a massive mural depicting the Echolith's history. The Sirens summon Alina and the Protectors to reveal a prophecy that could change everything. Characters involved: Alina Reyes, Kraken Prime, the Sirens, members of the Protectors of the Deep. The Abyssal Collective, introduced as allies. The setup: after the Saharan Abyss mission, the Protectors are adrift, unsure of their next move. Alina feels the weight of leadership more than ever, especially as whispers of Zimmers' possible return grow louder. The Sirens invite her to their grotto, promising answers, but the truth they reveal is both hopeful and terrifying. Key scenes: Scene 1. The summoning Alina and Kraken Prime arrive at the grotto, guided by a bioluminescent trail of light. The sirens await them at the mural, their voices blending into a haunting melody. The mural depicts the Echolith's creation, its fragmentation, and a cryptic image of Zimmers' return. The sirens: "The time has come to share the prophecy, Alina. But know this, the path it reveals will test your faith, your courage, and your heart." Alina, solemnly: "I'm ready. We need answers, now more than ever." Scene 2, the prophecy. The sirens begin to sing, their voices weaving words into the water. The mural comes to life, its images shifting and glowing as the prophecy is revealed. When the fragments reunite, the ocean's heart shall ignite. The guardian shall rise anew, but the cost shall be paid by the few. Balance restored, the cycle complete, yet shadows linger, the future a sea. The images show the Echolith's fragments coming together, Zimmers emerging from its light, and a massive tidal wave engulfing the coast. Alina, breathless: "What does this mean? Is Zimmers coming back?" The sirens: "The prophecy speaks of his return, but at a great cost. The Echolith's power must be balanced, or the world shall drown in its wake." Kraken Prime: "And the shadows? What do they represent?" The sirens: "The fragment's reunification will awaken an ancient force, one that seeks to claim the Echolith for its own. You must be prepared, Alina. The final battle approaches." Scene 3, the Abyssal Collective. The sirens introduce Alina to the Abyssal Collective, a secretive underwater civilization that has guarded the prophecy for millennia. The collective offers to help the protectors recover the remaining fragments, but their price is steep. They demand access to the Echolith's power once it's restored. Leader of the collective: "We have waited eons for this moment. Help us, and we shall aid you in your quest. But the Echolith's power is ours by right." Alina, hesitant: "I can't agree to that. The Echolith is too dangerous to be controlled by anyone, including you." Leader of the collective: "Then you shall face the shadows alone." The meeting ends in a tense standoff, leaving Alina torn between accepting the collective's help and staying true to Zimmers' mission. Scene 4, Alina's resolve. Back at the base, Alina shares the prophecy with the protectors. The team is divided. Some see the collective's offer as a necessary evil, while others believe it's too great a risk. Alina, firmly: "Zimmers gave everything to protect the ocean. We can't betray that by giving the Echolith to someone else. We'll find a way to stop the shadows, on our own terms." The team rallies behind her, their determination renewed. But as Alina looks at the mural's image of Zimmers, she can't shake the feeling that his return will come at a cost she's not ready to pay. Aftermath. The prophecy sets the protectors on a collision course with the shadows, an ancient force that seeks to claim the Echolith for its own. Meanwhile, the Abyssal Collective begins their own mission to recover the fragments, setting the stage for a future confrontation. Key themes: destiny and sacrifice. The prophecy highlights the cost of restoring balance, forcing Alina to confront the idea of personal loss for the greater good. Trust and betrayal. The Abyssal Collectives offer challenges the Protector's ideals, exploring the moral complexities of alliances. Legacy and continuity. Zimmers' possible return ties into themes of legacy, inspiration, and the enduring impact of one's actions. Storyline. The fulfillment of the prophecy's setting, the Atlantis depths, a legendary underwater city said to house the final fragment of the Echolith. The city is a dazzling yet perilous labyrinth of ancient technology, bioluminescent crystals, and traps designed to protect the fragment. The protectors, the Abyssal Collective, and the shadows converge here for the final showdown. Characters involved: Alina Reyes, Kraken Prime, the Sirens, the Protectors of the Deep, the Abyssal Collective, the Shadows, an ancient, malevolent force awakened by the Echolith's reunification. Key scenes: Scene 1, the final fragment. The Protectors arrive at the Atlantis depths, navigating its treacherous corridors to reach the fragment. The Abyssal Collective is already there, attempting to bypass the city's defenses. As tensions rise, the shadows emerge, dark, ethereal beings that feed on the Echolith's energy. Leader of the Collective: "We warned you, Alina. The shadows cannot be stopped without our help." Alina, resolutely: "And we warned you, The echolith is not a weapon to be controlled. We'll stop the shadows ourselves. The two groups join forces temporarily, battling the shadows as they race toward the fragment. Scene 2. The shadows' ascendancy. The shadows grow stronger as they consume the echolith's energy, their forms taking on a terrifying, monstrous shape. They unleash a devastating attack, forcing the protectors and the collective to retreat. Kraken Prime. The shadows are too powerful. We cannot defeat them without reuniting the fragments. Elena, determined. Then let's do it. But on our terms, not theirs. She activates the final fragment, and the echolith begins to reunite, its energy surging through the city. Scene 3. Zimmers return as the fragments come together. The echolith's light fills the Atlantis depths. Zimmers' essence begins to manifest, his familiar voice echoing through the chamber. Zimmers. Elena. I'm here. His form materializes, glowing with the echolith's energy. But he's different, more powerful, yet more distant. He warns them of the sacrifices needed to stop the shadows. Zimmers. The shadows are born of the echolith's corruption. To stop them, I must become one with the echolith, and seal its power forever. Elena, desperately. No! You've already given so much. There has to be another way. Zimmers. This is the way. But it's not the end, Elena. The protectors will carry on my legacy. Scene 4. The final battle. Zimmers, Elena, and the protectors confront the shadows in an epic showdown. Zimmers uses the echolith's power to weaken the shadows, while Elena and the team hold them off. The Abyssal Collective provides support, their awe of Zimmers' sacrifice outweighing their desire for the echolith's power. In a climactic moment, Zimmers channels the echolith's energy into a final, blinding explosion, destroying the shadows and sealing the echolith's power within himself. The city begins to collapse, forcing everyone to flee. Elena, tearfully. Zimmers, no! Zimmers. It's not goodbye, Elena. I'll always be with you, in the ocean's heart. His form dissolves into light, leaving only the faint hum of the echolith's energy. Aftermath. The Atlantis depths are destroyed, but the ocean is saved. The protectors mourn Zimmers' sacrifice, but his legacy inspires them to continue their mission. The Abyssal Collective, humbled by his selflessness, pledges to protect the ocean alongside the protectors. Elena takes on a new role as the leader of the Ocean's Guardians, a global coalition dedicated to preserving the ocean and honoring Zimmers' memory. The fragments are scattered once more, hidden away to prevent their misuse. Key themes: sacrifice and legacy. Zimmers' ultimate sacrifice underscores the cost of heroism and the enduring impact of his actions. Unity and redemption. The Abyssal Collective's transformation highlights the power of unity and the possibility of redemption. Hope and renewal. The story ends on a hopeful note, with the protectors and the world inspired to protect the ocean. Scene: the legacy of the Guardian. Setting: a newly established memorial site in New Triton City, overlooking the ocean. The site features a massive statue of Zimmers, his hand outstretched toward the water, symbolizing his connection to the ocean. The sunset paints the sky in hues of orange and purple as crowds gather to honor his sacrifice. Characters present: Elena Reyes, Kraken Prime, the Sirens, members of the Protectors of the Deep, the Abyssal Collective, citizens of New Triton City. The scene: the memorial ceremony begins with a moment of silence, the sound of the waves crashing against the shore serving as a solemn backdrop. Elena steps forward to address the crowd, her voice steady but tinged with emotion. Elena. Zimmers gave everything to protect us, to protect the ocean. He showed us what it means to fight for something greater than ourselves. His sacrifice reminds us that the ocean is not just a resource, it's a life force, a sanctuary, and a responsibility. Today, we honor his memory by pledging to carry on his mission. We are the ocean's guardians, and we will protect this planet. For him, for us, and for generations to come. The crowd erupts in applause, their cheers mingling with the roar of the ocean. The sirens sing a hauntingly beautiful melody, their voices carrying Zimmers' spirit on the wind. Elena's journey in the aftermath. Elena struggles with the weight of leadership but finds strength in Zimmers' legacy. She visits the memorial often, finding solace in the ocean's presence. Kraken Prime becomes her confidant, offering wisdom and reassurance during her darkest moments. One day, as she stands by the statue, she hears a whisper on the wind, a voice that sounds like Zimmers. Zimmers' voice. "You're not alone, Alina. I'm with you." She smiles, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. The Ocean's Guardians under Alina's leadership, the Protectors evolve into the Ocean's Guardians, a global coalition dedicated to ocean conservation and environmental protection. They work alongside the Abyssal Collective, the Sirens, and other allies, using their knowledge and technology to heal the ocean and prevent future threats. The Guardians also establish a training program for young recruits, ensuring that Zimmer's legacy inspires a new generation of protectors. Alina takes pride in seeing the next wave of Guardians rise to the challenge, knowing that Zimmer's spirit lives on in them. The world's response: Zimmer's sacrifice sparks a global movement. Coastal cities implement stricter environmental regulations, and international organizations commit to reducing ocean pollution. The Echolithos fragments remain hidden, their locations known only to the Guardians, ensuring that their power is never misused. Future possibilities: while Zimmer's physical presence is gone, his essence lingers in the ocean, hinting at the possibility of his return. The Guardians remain vigilant, ready to face new threats, and perhaps, one day, reunite with their beloved leader. Key themes: legacy and inspiration. Zimmer's sacrifice inspires a global movement, highlighting the enduring impact of his actions. Healing and renewal. The ocean begins to heal, symbolizing hope and the possibility of recovery. The cycle of leadership. Alina's journey from protege to leader underscores the importance of continuity and growth.